What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Hendo's Breakdowns. Today we're going to check out Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje since they're going to be fighting pretty soon here. So I'm looking at a couple of their previous fights. First one is Max Holloway versus Korean Zombie. Max Holloway obviously has a little bit more power than Korean Zombie, and he's definitely more active and a lot more volume. Yeah, I think comes from a little bit farther away, a little bit different angles. Max definitely does a good job mixing up body shots, and Max Holloway is obviously not afraid to get in there and bang. He's usually a little bit more accurate than his opponents. Definitely has a lot more volume most of the time and very good cardio, so he just keeps on going. See him being able to keep up with Justin Gaethje or have better cardio even than Gaethje, but Gaethje's a goer just like him, and I think Gaethje just has a little bit more power than Max and utilizes kicks a lot more than Max Holloway does. I think that's going to be the difference in their fight. Korean Zombie is definitely a lot more aggressive right now, but yeah, sometimes when you get over aggressive, you walk into some hard punches, and it makes them even harder if you're coming forward like that. I've had my share of fights where I've moved up weight classes or just most of the time fought bigger guys. For me, I had the power to contend with the bigger guys. It was more about having better technique, being in better position, and just being the better fighter. And that's what I relied on. I never really worried about being the smaller guy. So I wouldn't put that in there. I would say that Gaethje seems like he does have more power than Max Holloway, even though Max Holloway does have obviously knockout power, as this fight ended in knockout, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Gaethje definitely utilizes his kicks quite a bit to really set up his punches more and to really make the offense a little less powerful on his opponents once he beats up their leg a little bit. Him and Poirier is, a pretty even matchup. Poirier doesn't use his kicks enough either, though, and he doesn't check kicks very well either. Both Gaethje and Poirier move really well. Gaethje is a little bit different. I think Poirier is a little bit more traditional with his stance. Gaethje moves, a little bit more, and he's got better cardio usually. I think Gaethje does duck down a little bit too much, which leaves him open to either a knee or kick or an uppercut. This round's a pretty close round. Gaethje definitely isn't the aggressor in this fight. He's, moving back a lot. Max Holloway kind of fights usually going forward, and Gaethje does half the time. So I would see Max Holloway kind of pushing the pace a little bit and probably has a little bit more cardio than Gaethje does. But Gaethje usually has a lot of volume and doesn't get tired very easy. So that's going to be the interesting part of that fight, I think. Gaethje landed some good punches the last 15 seconds, but, I would probably give that round to Poirier just for him, controlling the middle of the cage most of the time. Obviously landing as many or more than Gaethje did. Yeah, Gaethje's just really good at changing levels and coming back up with his strikes to the head. Kind of some good level change feints. A lot of times that gets the guy to, lower his hands a little bit. Oh, great head kick finishes it here. He had done that once or twice earlier and kick was blocked, but that time Poirier had one hand halfway up there. But most of the time you got to have two hands to block those kicks. Gaethje kind of changed levels a little bit before he threw that head kick, and so the fight between Gaethje and Holloway, I think, it's obviously a great matchup. You got to know that there's going to be quite a bit of action happening, and I see Holloway pushing the pace a little bit more than Gaethje, and Gaethje having a little bit more power, and I think beating Holloway's legs up a little bit. Both of them have good hands, and obviously Holloway hits hard as well. Anything can happen, but I think if I put money on it, I'd probably have to go with Gaethje because of the power aspect and the fact that he changes it up a little bit, doesn't straight at you. Holloway is pretty good at in using his level changes a little bit as well. Neither guy usually goes for a takedown, so I think both of them are going to be pretty predictable what they're going to do. They're just going to do a lot of level changes and body shots to head shots, and Gaethje will have a lot more leg kicks in there. He's just going to mix it up a little bit more, and I think he has a little bit more power, but it's all about who lands that power and where. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to this fight. Might be the fight I'm looking most forward to is this one on the card. So, good luck to both guys, and at least hopefully they both perform well, and I think the fans are going to be the ones that come out ahead on this one for sure.